Welcome back to Fiercely Unfiltered. I'm your host, Kelly Renee. And today I want to talk about hormones. This is something that every female, if you're in your late 30s or 40s and you haven't done, should definitely do. Back in 2020, after my mom died, I was having problems just dealing with life, just getting up and going. I've never had a problem with getting up and going no matter what was going on. But I was just having issues. I was crying all the time. I was tired. I just didn't have the energy just to do anything. So someone said, go get your hormones checked out. So I went to like a lab performance place, someplace where you pay a couple $100 and they check out all your hormones. They do blood levels and all that. So I did that. And I'm glad I did because my testosterone level is at like a 6. They're like, how are you even out of bed right now? So all this time I was thinking something was wrong with me. I was depressed. I couldn't just keep going like I normally did. It was my hormones levels. They were working against me. They say it's like running up a hill with a weighted vest on. Like you don't need to make it that hard for yourself. If you're going up a hill, just go up the hill. So I'm glad I got it tested. So anyone who just feels like you're off a little bit, who feels like you don't have the energy you thought you should, go get your hormones checked out. It's an easy fix. What they did for me is I got these pellets. You probably heard about the pellets. A lot of females get them. You get them about 4 times a year, and they put a little incision in the top of your butt, and they put these pellets in there. And you got to take 3 or 4 days off of lower workouts. They secrete out slowly over the 3 months, and they're supposed to like give you a normal supply over those 3 months, which, I mean, to me, I don't understand how it works so evenly over 3 months. I have really a lot of energy in the beginning, and at the end of the 3 months, I have hardly any energy. So I did those for about 3.5 years, and it made a huge difference with everything. But once I started working out more, I actually take the testosterone in a shot now. I do it once a week. It's way more cost effective. And I just feel like it's more even of a dosage because I get it every week. I don't get it once every 3 months. But anybody who feels a little off, I mean, by the time you get in your 40s and stuff, shit's not working like it's supposed to. It takes a lot more energy and care to take care of yourself. And you really need to understand the facts of your body. So you're working smarter, not harder. You don't need to work through some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is fixable and it's easily fixable. But I would have never even thought to check my hormones. Like I go to my doctor all the time and they don't even do that. And then once they checked my hormones and it was like $250, I would go to my doctor and I'd be like, hey, it's time to get my hormones checked again. Can you guys do it for me? They're like, oh, we don't really do that. It's like, you don't do hormones? Like everything that was wrong with me just got fixed off of taking a pellet every 3 months. And this isn't something you guys do. So you really have to advocate for yourself. Eventually, they did do a couple of the blood tests for me because I started going to a place that worked with my doctor who did my pellets. So they would put the labs in through my doctor. They'd be covered by my insurance. And then I would go to them to get the pellets done. But it's about $400 every 3 months. So that's like $1,600 a year. If you do it in the shot, it's like under $100 for the whole freaking year. So it's a big savings right there. But I just wanted to do this episode about the hormones because mindset is a big deal. And talking over your intrusive thoughts, like waking up in the morning and feeling like the weight of the world's on you and being able to get up and go anyways and tell yourself, don't be a bitch, get the fuck up, make today your bitch. You have the strength to do that. But if your hormones are off and your body's not working how it's supposed to, I mean, sometimes you're not able to do that. And I knew there was something wrong with me because I can always self-talk myself out of a shitty situation, but I was unable to do it. I was like, there's something wrong with me. Like I can't get out of this funk. It's like I'm depressed, but I'm not depressed. I mean, life's hard. Shit happens. Like I try not to let it get me down. But there's a few lessons that I've learned through my life that now I kind of navigate life differently than I used to. Now I actually try not to be attached to any outcome, to any person, to any situation. I am trying to make myself very self-dependent. So it's a few things that I wish I would have navigated my whole life this way, but I just started to do it after reflecting on my life and realizing what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong, what I was doing that was making my life harder for me, like what I was self-sabotaging. And I understand that I used to be so attached to every outcome because I used to have my whole life planned out, and I would have steps 1 to 1,000. And if step 20 didn't happen, then step 21 couldn't happen. So the outcomes had to be successful on every one of the steps, or my whole plan went out of whack. And then I wasn't in control. So living like that was very stressful. It's hard to try and control every avenue of your life to get an outcome you want. So now I just kind of try and live fluid. I wake up every day with good intentions. I do everything I need to do to try and be the best version of myself. I try not to disappoint yesterday's me by making bad decisions today. If I made good decisions every day last week, why does my today self get to not stay on plan? Because every day of last week, I did stay on plan. So what makes me more special today that I just get to do what I want? So I stay very disciplined. I stay to the plan of being the best I can be, not really a plan of how my life's going to go. Because it's kind of interesting to live your life where it's like, I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I'm in a lot of lawsuits and stuff still about my business falling apart. And I try not to stress out about that, because in my life, I've stressed out about a lot of things. I always think worst case scenario. And when I didn't think worst case scenario would happen. So it's like when everything you were so scared about happening has happened to you, you really don't have any fear of stuff happening. And now that I have faith and I kind of surrendered to God and put it in his hands, it's almost like if something shitty happens, it's like, why is this happening? Like, what lesson is God trying to teach me? Because there's something he's trying to teach me before I can get to the next step he wants me to be. So it's kind of like, I don't want bad things to happen to me, but if they do, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's either a redirection or it's you need to learn something. And I kind of take my life like that now, where it's a life lesson. Every day I'm learning something. If something happens that I didn't want to happen, why did that happen? What can I learn from it? I just never want to make the same mistake twice. I feel like I've lived my first 2 marriages. I kind of learned the same lesson from them both, but I didn't learn them until after the fact, like to love myself, to put myself first. So I feel like God put me in another situation that was different, but similar, if that makes sense, where it's 2 completely different marriages, but the same lesson came out of the failure of both of those, which is crazy to me. And at the end of my second marriage, he taught me the same shit over and over again because I wouldn't see it for what it was. And it brings me to another lesson I learned in life. Actions speak louder than words. I love to believe people and listen to what they're telling me, but when what they're telling you goes completely against their actions, actions speak louder. Anyone could talk a good game, but to follow through on what you say is completely different. And when people don't do what they say and they give you a good story, this is why, and you want to feel like, okay, I'll give you another chance. But when that turns into time after time, that's not mistakes. That's not no follow through. That's character. That's their value. That's them showing you that it's not important. That's them showing you who they are. And if someone's showing you, fucking listen. You don't need to listen to their words. You need to watch their actions. And that is something I try and live by. And I'm in a couple situations right now where I'm not acting on those actions. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, holy fuck, God's teaching me this again. Actions over words. Because I've been letting things drag out a lot longer than they need to be, because I'm listening to what they're telling me instead of paying attention to what they're actually doing. And I just had a meeting the other day where I have this gut feeling. I am like I wish I would have listened to this gut feeling before in my past situation. And now I'm doing the same thing. I feel the same way, and I'm not taking action, because if I do, it just opens floodgates of so much other shit, but I know it's what I need to do. So it's like, I haven't actually learned all the lessons I'm supposed to. I mean, I've learned them in my mind, but I still am not executing on what I know I need to do. And it frustrates me, and it makes me mad at myself. And it makes me wonder why I don't believe in myself enough to take charge of the situation, listen to my gut, and do what I know needs to be done, because of, I guess it's the fear of when I've done it in the past and you're trying to hold people accountable, you're the problem. And then you can so easily get voted out of a situation where then you aren't even involved anymore. So it's like a fine line between holding people accountable, but people don't have to return your call. People don't have to answer your questions. It's life. They have freedom to do what they want to. So you can only hold people accountable to the point where they're going to answer your calls or still engage with you, because some people just say, fuck you, I'm done. And then where are you left? You're left with a bag of shit where there's even nowhere to go. I'll be talking about a lot more of what I mean by that. I'm just still in litigation and stuff, so I can't go too far into it. But the lessons I feel like I think I've learned, which I know in my mind I have learned, but I'm still not acting different. I'm still sitting back more than I wish I would be. I'm still scared to be everything I know I can be, because when I've been that in the past, it's got me excluded. It's got me to become the focus of the situation instead of what the focus should be. So I'm trying not to do that. So let's hope that I can turn this around and I can start living by the lessons that I say I've learned. And I'm trying to live without fear and anger, but I still do have fear around new relationships, meeting new people, letting down my walls and trusting. And I'm hoping that, I don't know, I might need to start getting counseling or something to try and get over this, because it's been a while and I don't think I'm scared. But then, like right now, even thinking about meeting new people and trusting again, I get like a weight on my chest, and I don't want to feel that way when I talk about trust. So I guess the point of this episode was mainly to let people know, if you're not feeling right, get your hormones checked. It's not always about mindset and just getting over something. Sometimes it's about taking a pause and understanding exactly what's going on inside your body and inside your mind, because sometimes it's not just the mind, it is your body trying to tell you something. Until next time, guys, go get your hormones checked out.